Hello, welcome to my channel. We're going to be talking today about advanced geometry. So we're going to cover the clip tool, the make hollow, scaling and mirroring brushes, then the vertex tool, the arch tool, and the Torus tool. You may skip each part that you want by using the timestamps in the video. Also, I left a sort of table of contents of exactly what I will be covering with each chapter in order of appearance if you want to skip to like a very specific part. Anyways, I'm gonna be using Hammer++ for Source SDK 2013. You don't have to use it, but there are like good reasons to use it, which I won't delve into in order to keep this video sort of concise. So I'm gonna grab myself a dev texture and let's go to the first tool, the clip tool. So the clip tool is pretty simple. You have a brush here, you click clip tool, drag it, and you can clip stuff. Yeah, you press Shift X to switch what you want to cut. This red part is the part that will be cut away, so this part will vanish. You can switch it by pressing Shift X, or if they're both white when you press Shift X, it means they both will stay. Yeah. Also, if you press Control, you can move your selection, your hypotenuse, sort of, whatever. You can move it. Okay, that's the clip tool for you. Let's go to make hollow, which is also very simple. You have a shape here. You can go into tools, make hollow, and here you select the thickness of your wall, and this is it. This is the make hollow tool. I wouldn't recommend using this to make rooms, but you can use it for test maps. That's fine. Now let's go to the scaling and mirroring of brushes. This is also pretty easy. So I'm gonna make a sort of unique concave brush here. So this, let's say I made this brush and like I want to mirror it. I can just copy it and press Ctrl M, and there's a bunch of these transformations here. So all of these are pretty self-explanatory. There's like teleports to a location, moves it relative to where it is. But I'm gonna be focusing on the scale because you can scale it by -1 on one axis, and this will mirror it. And yeah, this is it for the mirroring tool. You also have the vertex tool, which is very useful. So let's say I have a brush here, have the vertex tool. I can select one point of the brush and I can move this. Now you can see that there's a red face over there. This is a Hammer++ thing, and it means this face is invalid and will not work. So you want to keep everything valid. So I do recommend moving like 2 at a time. Also, with the vertex tool, you also notice if you click here, you can switch from these white faces to yellow faces to yellow and white faces. So these yellow faces, they sort of are a middle point between white faces and move in an edge. So you can also click on these yellow points to create new white points. So here you can just select it and press Ctrl F, and you see it creates 2 different points. I kind of, okay, yep. You can then move it. Yep. Just be careful to not make invalid faces. And oops, move my finger. Now also, one thing you can do with the vertex tool is select some group of for vertices, and you can press Alt E to scale them, which basically means they either get closer to each other or further away from each other, and this is very useful. Yep. So you can make sort of a cone or well, pyramid here by just selecting this and going 0. Do be aware, if you do do 0, it's gonna break, as you can clearly see by these red vertices, vertices edges. Oh, also, one very useful thing with Vertex Tool is that, like, for example, if I have, let's say I have a cylinder here, and I made it very, like, okay, I made it like this. Now this cylinder is not snapped to the grid at all, like most things aren't, so you can go here, select all vertices and press Ctrl B, and this will snap every single vertex point to the grid. So yeah, this is all for the Vertex Tool. Arch Tool is very simple. You can make arches, you can make holes, you can make pipeways and stairways. So basically you have this preview here which shows you, well, at least in Hammer++ shows you, but in regular Hammer there is also a preview here which shows you how the arch will look like. It will take this top part as reference, so if you scale it, so if you scale here trying to make a pipe that faces in the side view, it's gonna still get referenced on the top view, so don't do that. So wall width, it's pretty self-explanatory. Number of sides is number of like brushes you have making up your arch. The smoother it is, but also the more heavy it will be. Arc is basically the angle. There's nothing much about it. Start angle, that's like the angle it starts. I don't think that's too hard. So for example, if I put 45 here, it'll be 90 degrees in starting at the 45 degree angle. Now add height is pretty interesting because you can make stairways with this. So if I add a height of 8, you can see here how it's going up. So basically it adds a height for each brush, so that's why you can make some cool stairs with it. Okay, you can also use the Vertex Tool with the Arch Tool to make holes. So let me add height 0. Let's do me at 360. So for example here you could, oh wow, this is way too, let me get a little bit less resolution. I'm gonna do 8. You can go here and you can pull these vertices towards the edge, and it makes sort of a square base here, and then that's it, you have a sort of hole. For this I do recommend using smoothing groups, which is you just select the faces that are like kind of that you want to be like smoothly blended, and you go into smoothing groups and select one. Yeah, let's go to Torus. Now the Torus is a little bit more complicated, but it isn't that much complicated. So take it a 512 by 512 by 512 brush, and oh, this one doesn't have in real time preview in Hammer++, so it will look exactly like this in regular Hammer. So this is the cross section preview, which basically is the side preview, and this is just like the arch too, so I won't cover it. Now this cross section radius controls the size of like a sort of hole. It basically controls the radius of a sort of hole that's in the middle here. So like for example, if I put 64 and I preview, you're gonna see that there's a sort of I prefer it in 60 degrees to make it more obvious. That it increases the amount of like the size of your of the space in the middle. So but this also affects the width of your cross section. So yeah, if I press OK here, oh, I think I have add height. Let me redo this. Yes, I do. You can scale this up. I guess I don't need it right now. So yeah, it sort of makes a curved pipeway. Let me do a sort of smoother one. So like this, and I'll do 64. I'll do a 90-degree one. Yeah, you can combine this with arches to make pipeways or curved corridors. So okay, let me get an arch. I forgot. Let me see just how much faces this has. These have 16 sides. And we can just rotate it like this. And like that. And it will do basically almost a perfect fit. If you go down to like minimum grid, you can select this and press Ctrl B to align it, and this can Ctrl B to also align it, because this will be very likely off grid, and this makes it perfect. So that's why that's very useful. Yeah, you can see here you also want to use moving groups in here, but do it for each little turn here, or else you're gonna get very weird results. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Torus tool. Now there's a last tool. It's not really a tool, but the last thing that I want to cover is paste special. So let's say I have like a square rectangle here, and I want to copy it many times. I can just go here and go into edit and paste special, and there's a number of copies to paste. There's an offset that's accumulative, there's a rotation that's accumulative. Let's do it with an offset of 0.8 here. Number of copies to paste 10. Let's do 2 in the z-axis. You can see it makes a sort of stairway. Now this is much more useful if you're dealing with sort of more let's say curved geometry. So let's say we have like sort of a complex mesh here. I'm just gonna make something sort of different here, so like a square. That's funky till this. Let's say you have this and you want to make sort of a cylinder with this, right? You're gonna make it sort of like this, a cylinder, maybe a sphere even. Now you can use paste special by moving the origin of it to sort of act as the radius. You cannot do that in regular hammer, just saying. You gotta use hammer ++. So you gotta move your origin. You can Control C, and then you can go here and paste special here. But we're gonna have to do some math. So if you press Alt, you're gonna turn much more slowly, and this is roughly half of a degree every time you move. So I devised this sort of equation here, where the constant is like the amount of like degrees that it turns per each like turn when you press Alt. And this is for another thing. So let's say let's use this to like sort of make the angle offset. So oh my god, the origin's fucked up again. This origin is very annoying. So let's sort of use this. So Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's 17. So let's go here and we say our n is 17. And we do 17 times 0.5172. And this is how many degrees I'm turning. Let's get this number and make it 460 divided by it. We will need 41 copies of this. This is all the information we need now. So this will be 41, the number we found, and this is 8.79, which is the rotation on the y-axis. And oh, it turned back to the center. That's annoying. We're gonna have to do all this again. I'm gonna cut. Okay, I've adjusted to the new like radius. Let's press OK, and you can see it makes almost flawless cylinder. I probably messed up the math somehow, but you can see if you tweak it a little bit, it's gonna be basically perfect. I'm not sure exactly what I messed up here. Maybe it's something to do with the math I did being bad, but yeah, this is sort of the concept, and that's pretty much it.